Hey everybody, this is Josh from Keep Turning. I'm going to do a little intro breakdown to using the transform tool in Photoshop. So we're going to pop Photoshop open here, and we got an image. It's just a little advertisement image, and we want to place it on the side of a trailer and a bottle. So now that we got our image open, we're going to select the whole image by hitting Command A for select all, or Alt A if you're on Windows, and then Command C for copy. And let's open up our trailer image and hit Command V to paste it in. Now we got our image in there, it's going to paste it into a brand new layer, and we want to convert that layer to a smart object. This will keep the quality of the image so that if we decide to change it again or reshape it, as long as we're not blowing it up bigger than what it started, it'll hold together and it'll look nice. So right click on the layer and choose Convert to Smart Object. And you'll know it's a smart object. It'll have the little box in the lower right corner of the image for the layer. So from here, with our Move tool, we can move the image around, kind of get it where we want it. Let's say we want it on the side right here. Hit Command T for transform, and you'll get a box around it. And these handles, you can grab onto them. If you hold down the Command key and grab a handle, you can then twist and bend this. Now, like I said, you can reduce it and bend it, and it's not going to affect it. But if we blow it up really big, it's going to pixelate, because it was a raster image when we brought it in before we made it into a smart object. So it will fall apart if you make it too big. So going back to the transform tool, we're going to grab a hold of this thing, and if you're in the like CS6 or some of the older Photoshops from Creative Suite, you'll want to hold down the Shift key while grabbing a corner, and it will keep it to the right scale. It'll keep it from warping it out of shape. If you're in the latest Photoshop and you do that, it does the exact opposite. I have no idea why they felt the need to change that, and they don't seem to have an easy way to fix it, to put it back how it was. So you'll have to play around with that and just see which version you're running. So let's shrink it down and grab a corner, holding down our Command key while grabbing the corner so we can shift it. And we're just going to eyeball it to get it to the perspective that we want, so it kind of matches. We're not going to do anything complicated, just want to get the overall feel. So once we get about where we want, and it looks like it all lines up pretty good, hit Return or Enter, or hit this check mark in the upper corner, or the upper part of your Photoshop display, and that'll lock it in place, and now it's set to that shape. What you can do then, if you need another one on there, instead of pasting it in again, just grab your layer, drag it down onto the new layer button right here next to the trash can, and it'll create a duplicate layer right here. You can now move this over and see we got another version of it. Hit Command T again for transform, and now you can reshape this one again to get your next image that you want to drop on here, so you don't have to keep pasting in new images. And there's actually a really good reason for this, and I'll show you that in just a second. But say we get our image placed, we're holding down that Command key to get it our corners where we want them. You can do this with the same with the center here if you want to move the whole thing. So now that we have that in place, again, looks alright, we'll hit Enter to lock it in. So now we got both images on there. What we can do is, say now we've looked at the image and like, oh man, we wanted the type in Saloon to have like a gray tone in it. Since you used smart objects, you can just double click on one of these layers. You want to double click the window for one of the layers, and it's going to open a new file. It's actually the file you pasted in. Now if we wanted, we'll just use the magic wand tool real quick, and we're going to grab this and we are going to fill it with a gray. And then we are going to go up to File and say Save. And then File, Close. And when this closes, it automatically will update all of our images that are connected to that smart object. So if you hit Command Z to undo, you would see them remove it, and then it drops it back in. So you can, if you are putting a lot of these images all over an illustration or a photo, and you might have to change these images out later with different posters or different illustrations, these smart objects makes it much easier that you can just double click on one and it'll update every single one in your file. So once you have those in place, all you have to do is save your file and you're done. So that's using it on a flat surface. So now let's go to something like a bottle. So we're going to again paste in our image and we're going to convert it to a smart object. Again, once it's pasted in, Command V, and we got the file there. You want to right click on the layer and you want to choose Convert to Smart Object. Now you have your smart object. We're going to go Command T to transform, and we're just going to shape this to about where it's going to go. So grabbing our corners with the Command key held down, and we're just going to shape it to the bottle. Bring this down a little bit. Squash it a little bit like that, a little bit like this. Okay, so we got it in place there, but we want to now warp it. Now you have two options. What you're going to do is this right here next to you got the check mark and the cancel. You want this button right here, and it's going to change it to warp mode. So click that and you're going to see these lines appear on here. Now if you're doing, you can go in by hand and you can grab these and actually start warping the image by hand by grabbing the different lines. And that's great for certain things. That works just fine. If you decide you don't want to do it that way, let's see here. I thought I'd be able to just undo, but maybe not. All right, let's go back. You can also, let's resize this again real quick. Close enough. Okay, so we got our image there. Again, click on this mesh tool. You can go over to your left here in the upper left corner and click this and choose arch. And what you're going to want to do is change the bend to a negative, let's try 30. We can keep going down. Let's see here. And it will actually warp it for you. And then you can check mark it and get it put into the place you want. Now, if it isn't quite right how you want it, again, you can go back and change some stuff, move things around. And again, you can hit this tool and get it where you want. So that's the basics. Most likely you probably go in with the custom tool and just shape it yourself, but that would be a down and dirty quick way to drop an image in. So that's the basic use of the transform tool. I hope that comes in handy, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.